Hey, welcome to the next edition of Draconic Dominance. So today we're going to be trying out the version with nothing but uncommons and uncommons filled up. Of course, we still have primarily our ideal cards with Crackling Drake, Crab, and Terror. So if you like this kind of content, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, hit that notification for future videos. We're on our way to 1,000 subs. Let's get there together. Let's get into this deck list and see the deck in action. So we have upgrades. We have some treasure cruises now, some fiery impulses. Burst Lightning is pretty reasonable for out of the gate, but you probably want to upgrade to an Impulse. Makes more sense in the deck. We have some Is It Charms in the deck now, and we have some Furies and some Disruptions instead of some basic lands over here. So that gives us a higher density of sorceries, which allows our crabs and our terrors to be more cheaper, faster, and the Drake to be bigger. Less Fury's kind of nice with the Drake, because then we could deal X amount of damage to our opponent's face after we attack them. So it kind of can be a one-turn kill type effect. Besides that, except if it's a charm, 3 steps ahead for a little bit of counter magic with the disruption, a little bit of quote unquote sweeper effects with explosion, 3 treasure cruises just because we want some way of replenishing our hand, but we don't want to take too much instant sorceries away from Crab and Terror. 3 pranksters because I don't really want 4. This is just a nice way to fill up our yard up for the Crab and the Terror and the Drake. Sideboard though, we do have some running volleys, a good way to answer Selesny Coco, also spirits and angels. We have a Spell Pierce with a Dispute as a way to help against heavy amounts of removal and against counter wars. A couple in the gates, also pretty reasonable for that kind of matchup. Then we have our Disdainful Strokes for go tall decks, some Gust for green and red based strategies like aggro, some Iconoclast for alternative win cons, so we can maybe cut a Grab or a Terror. Beacon Bolt for a medium-sized removal spell, since it counts how many instant sorceries are in our graveyard. And one case for a little bit of card draw against Grady matchups. That is our deck we're trying out today. Let's see if this deck has what it takes to compete in the Pioneer meta. Not okay, so Spear. Alright, so we're playing Rakdos Prowess. Play a tap land, go. I don't know if this hand's going to be good enough for this matchup. Since we are a budget-friendly deck, we do not have the Wraths required either. Definitely take the Impulse. Get rid of it. Go. I definitely could have done it and waited for the Slipshot show off, but there's a good chance he probably just wins here. Yeah, looks like he's sacking it. So we have not negate, Gust, maybe Iconoclast. What are we going down? Maybe a Terror and a 3 steps ahead. 1 Crab, I guess an Opt, or not like that. So land, go. So next week we should be able to start playing actual sweepers in the deck. I guess we could have played Pyroclasm. Iconoclast is nice here. Ideally, we want a blue source though at the top. Take it. That is not a blue source. Go. Next turn, if you don't draw a blue source, we're going to have to consider opt, try to find one. Yeah, so you definitely could argue that I should be playing some Pyroclasms in the board. It is an uncommon, so it probably would fit the theme without breaking the bank. Okay, kill a Iconoclast. There's a blue source. Go. So we're not exactly dead yet, but we're close, so sure. Not what I'm looking for. That isn't either. I need a removal spell. Nope. Yeah, we're probably dead. You should put trample on that. Yeah. Nothing? Oh, you have a sack. Sure. Could have just led with that, and I would have scooped. 0-1. Let's get into the next. Okay, Avatar. Lighthouse, go. Verge. And Overlord, okay. So I think we need a Prankster this turn. Again, a part of me really wants to find a land here. Let's go for that approach. It's a land. It's not optimal land, but it is a land. Build that further in the yard to draw more, to fuel our terror more. Human. Okay. Where the lands they go. Now we get the Prankster. Hopefully that's enough to get us to a good terror and a crab. Okay. Go ahead and Prankster. And get down a... I didn't have enough. Wow. I gotta say go then. I was really hoping to be able to get a terror down, but... Okay, Zerk. Yeah. Do I care enough to... Is it better to fill my yard up? I think so. I know it doesn't kill it, but I want to be able to... Yeah. But I figured there's a world where I would not be able to cast 2 spells this turn. Trade. That's interesting. Hit ya. Play Ill-Time Explosion. Get rid of a Cruise and an Opt. Say go. So Cruise is really good with the Ill-Time Explosion. Yeah, up the Beanstalk. I don't know if the Drake is going to get there or not, though. Yeah, Overlord. You can leave it in a light source. It probably has a binding. Try to draw a land. Okay. That's not a terrible move. That worked out in our favor. We still get to leave up an Is a Charm. Just in case he tries to go for it. Anything too fishy. Because him paying 4 is quite a bit. Incarnation. Hacking the Overlord. To get a 6 drawn. Go ahead and loot. I guess Crackles. So if I deal 3 damage, that removes 1 counter. Then he has 1 counter. Go ahead and just Prankster. And get rid of our lands first. And creatures. Tend to hit you? Okay. That's fine. Yeah, you lose a shield, which is fine. You're gonna kill my prankster? No, I'm blocking. Remove that shield counter. Probably didn't realize that was gonna occur. I don't know. Overlord. Door. The boiler biggles. Villages. Next that was my graveyard. That's not like game ending by any metric. We got crackles. Crackles. Oh, that's not too shabby. Go. You might have a something like that, yeah. So the question here is, what do you have? Attempt to kill the flanker. We take 5. Down to 5. And a flood pit. Classic overlords. Already made a huge splash into Pioneer. Gets a 7-drop. It's Overlord of the Mistmoors. That's problematic. Tap those two down. What's that doing? Tap, tap. That's my entire turn. So, scoop it up. Classic bug. Maybe dispute, negate, even stroke, and maybe even gust. Impulse needs to be cut. Charm can be cut. 3 steps ahead is just less efficient than a 2-drop counter spell that essentially does the same thing. And maybe one prankster. Run it like that. Land, go. Tap land. They go. Okay. Keep playing lands and say go. We're not doing anything until you start interacting with us first. Our hand needs that to occur. Stroke. Go. Disruption. Alright, another land, huh? Go. Now what? Flood pits. Sure. Honestly, it's not really a card I'm worried about. Let's go ahead and crack. Pop. The white source. Grab. I guess an island. Slide a hand, take another crab. Tap land. There you go. Get crab in his instep. Incarnation. He sacks there. Probably grabs a Overlord of the Boiler Biggles. Villages. Go ahead and grab. Tap it down. So I have 2 mana to spare. Go ahead and consider another grab. Take it. It's fine. So now that costs 3. I have 2 mana left over. Smack. Go. Tap land. Play a crab. Stop the 4 damage. Can we tempo you out? That is the real question here. Sure. Overlord of the Balmerk. Pick up a Wharton. Yeah, sack the Overlord of the Balmerk. To get another Boil Pickles? Oh, Gearhulk. That's just not kind. Question, does he block here? Okay, he does. Play a terror. And say go. Next turn, we'll probably end up using the treasure cruise. I just don't really want to do it when I want to grab this turn. And I can't have him dealing 4 to me. Crab. Got a counter. No. Stop that down. There's a sanctuary. So now you sack boiler. You get the 7 drop. Yeah. Heat up my yard. Draw some cards. Play a Drake. A land. Disgust is not as effective, though. Like you. Sure. One of those times where we are really struggling here. This gust is not actually working. Actually, let's go and put Incarnation. Can I not counter this? Take my beats. Play a second Crackles. Attack. And double block. Cool. So that's 4. Takes 3. I guess that does tap me down. Go. Alright, gets rid of a Crackle. Trade. On dash. 0-2. Let's get into the next. Pathway. Red. That one. Go. I could have definitely played it untapped and actually played a 1-drop here. Gruul. Okay, so this is Gruul aggro. Cool. Play a sleight of hand. Impulse is nice. We definitely need lands here. That is not one. Double Impulse could keep us alive, I guess. Opponent. Mouse. Sure. Gives it double strike. Hits me for... I guess that technically doesn't give him a bonus. It's only prowess. So we take 4. Sure, take it. Let's try to find another land. I mean, that is a land, but that's not what I'm looking for. Okay, sleight of hand. Guess the blue source is fine. And I don't think I take this. Yep, I need red. I really need a red source for these impulses. I can give impulse, impulse. Now I can technically terror plus impulse. I don't know how good that's actually going to be, though. What's his best line? So I believe this deck still plays the talent. I don't know if he wants to actually cast the talent, though. Opponent is thinking pretty hard on this one, which seems a little odd to me since he's ahead. Come on, you. Alright. So I guess double strikes. We take 6. 7. Alright, we're at 6. Land off the top. 1 time. Red. A mountain off the top. Swift. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So there's a chance. There is a chance with this crab. We say go. So we tap down the Challenger and the Swift Spia. We might have a shot. I kind of want him to... Okay. Exiles 2 cards. Screaming Nemesis probably can't be played this turn. So now you should go to combat. So we play Krob. Tap down these two. Alright, so the Swiss Bial's tapped. That means he does get this Rage online, and that's double strike. That means it's GG's. Yeah. Yeah, I guess maybe I had to do the impulse. I wasn't really anticipating a Veil there. Yeah. So, we have Iconoclast. We have Pyroclasms now. And we have Gust. What can we cut? A Prankstaw, a 3 steps ahead, Charm, a Terror, and a... Actually, Crab's probably better than a Terror. And run it like that. Lighthouse, you. Now this hand, I am 100% dependent on this Ill-Time Explosion. Play a land and say go. So if he doesn't cast anything relevant this turn, we'll opt. But I imagine something's coming down. Yeah, that's definitely a good card to counter. Because that is something that can't get swept up by a Ill-Time Explosion. We just say go. So we can pick lock Prankster or free the Fae and do it opt. Taking some beats here. So we free the Fae. Take a Consider. Play the Consider since he knows about it. That seems a little weird to do it right there, but sure. Treasure Cruise to the yard. I guess that worked out. Play land. And I think I just say go. Now I can Gust if he tries to do something the first main phase. Yeah. I still get Crab. So he wants to keep that. Play the Crab. Tap them both down. Do I even care about this Blizzard? Because I could deal with it. I guess I can. Grab, I guess, a red source. Play an opt. Keep an opt. Play an opt. Treasure Cruise is fine. And get rid of the Challenger. And smack you, say go. So, as long as we don't die this turn, we're okay. We will be taking some damage by this Ill-Time Explosion, though. Or not. Not taking a damage at all. That's not what I'm looking for. Oh, that sucks. So we go eat up our yard a little bit. And say go. This Crab could block the Nemesis. No, we don't really want to block the Nemesis with that. Because Nemesis would deal 5 to my face, so I actually be dealing myself more damage. But I'm going to target the Challenger. I will be blocking the Challenger. If he attacks with it. If I can block it. Okay. We're at 5. Sleight of hand. Crab. Say go. We just need to stay alive a turn. Which might be able to do here. How do I do this? Tap those down. Monstrous Rage. It's a little bit tricky. I have to block there. In there. That's not lethal, I don't think. Yes. So if he can deal one more point of damage, he wins. Otherwise, we win. You have that point of damage. Okay, he does. Well, that means we are 0-3. Let's get to the wrap-up. So what do we learn this week about this deck overall? We went 0-3 with the deck. And my takeaway is, even though I added Pyroclasm after game match 1, so that definitely was a loss. We could have potentially fought a little bit harder. But then again, we still faced Cruel Prowess later on, and we never drew the Pyroclasm. We could definitely change this sideboard a little bit more to bridge more matchups. Also, losing on Fable the Mirror Breaker. Fable plus Copy Drake is just really strong. And the fact that we don't have that and find a way to fill our yard up while also fine-tuning our draws is also a problem. So missing out on Fable is definitely the biggest piece from it you're going to be gaining next week. Which is actually a really good place to be. Because if you're going to be investing rares into this deck, besides the mana base, which definitely needs a little bit of work, because there was points in time where we couldn't cast spells because we didn't have enough red. So that is actually something that did affect our gameplay. But having access to Fable and the Mirror Breaker, which is arguably top 10 best cards in Pioneer, so that is going to be a huge boost for your collection in general and playing a lot of the best decks in the format. Overall, like I said, we struggle against aggro. Once we get Fable, once we get the mana base upgraded and we get our sideboard better with gaining access to Anger of the Gods or whatever 3-drop sweeper over Pyroclasm, that's going to make a huge difference in the actual deck. I think Anger is probably the way to go because dice triggers are very important in Pioneer at this current moment, with Rakdos Prowess being a dominant deck in the mice. Other than that, let me know what you guys think about this list in the comment section. Do you guys think Drakes can come back to Pioneer? I do think we're moving towards a deck I think could be pretty solid. This also gives you a decent path forward to get Phoenix on Arena. So don't think that's because you're investing into this deck if it doesn't perform the way you want it to 100% of the time. Technically, we are still investing into a deck that basically turns into Phoenix later on when you get the wild cards, which Phoenix is a upper tier deck. So don't let that discourage you. Crackling Drake still shows up in sideboards time to time in that deck. Same with the Third Path Iconoclast. You're not really investing into cards that don't really make the cut there. The Fury and potentially Disruption don't really make the cut when it comes to Phoenix. But for us, they do, because the fact that we want more instant sorceries to be able to boost up our Drake and our Crab and our Terror, make them more cheaper, faster. And plus, they're a land you can get off of a Prankster, which actually kind of has some uses. If I would have hit them with the Prankster, I would have felt pretty good, actually, because I really wanted lands in certain matches where we just kind of got stuck on 3. Let me know what you guys think about this list in the comment section. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification to go for future videos. We're on our way to 1,000 subs. Let's get there. And until next time, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. And I'll talk to you guys next time.